Right, guys, this is Scott for Rebellious Noise, and I'm here with.
As usual, here with Dan from Rebellious Noise.
We are today going to be doing a combined 11. We're really going to test our friendship today, Dan. As you can see, I'm an Arsenal fan. Dan is a Man United fan, and today we're going to be doing a combined 11 from two specific squads. Dan, do you want to explain?
So, we have taken the 1997-98 Arsenal double winning team, and we're going to try and combine them with the Manchester United treble winning team of 1998-99. So they're going to be kind of similar, around the same kind of era, but there's specific criteria. They're not going to be, anything that's happened previously or like going forward. We're not going to take any of that into account. It is specifically the only season we're going to look at from Arsenal is 97-98, and the only season we're going to look at from Man United is 98-99. Anything else is irrelevant.
So it's only based on, as much as we can remember anyway, based on their performances from that season. So if someone's really good the year after, it's not going to come into account here, as much as we can at least. But like you say, they're quite similar teams anyway, because these two teams were pretty much facing each other at this time. Obviously, in 97-98, Arsenal won the league, and 1 point behind was Man United. In 98-99, Man United won the league, and 1 point behind was Arsenal. So we had a decent rivalry back in the day.
Back when we were both good.
Not just good, mate. Really good.
We weren't battling for fifth place. It was battling for first.
Oh, those were the days. So, yeah, I guess this might test our friendship a bit, mate. But I feel like we're a bit lenient and considerate each other. Like, I appreciate things about that Man United squad, and I'm sure, well, I hope you do at least.
Yeah.
About Arsenal at the time.
It's like literally looking through, like when I was doing like my research for this and just literally looking through the two teams, I was like, I think it's one of those, looking at it now, you gain like a new respect for like that era of like an Arsenal team. It's like, it's not looking at it as like, oh, we should have won the league. It's like,
and
they
they're
were
the
a
rival.
bloody good team to actually be able to. Like,
it almost makes, like, especially now looking back, like you say, when we're not as prolific in trophies anymore. When you look back and you go, even the years we didn't win it, so the year that the Arsenal team we're picking is because they won won the trophies that year, and the Man United that year. So it's like I'm okay, not okay. I'm never going to be okay with it, but like not winning in '99 ain't that bad because we didn't win to that Man United squad, and you guys not winning in '98 ain't that bad because you didn't win to that Arsenal squad. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of even makes the second place feel better because we were up against such incredible talent.
That's what happens though when you guys have to rely on Tottenham last game of the season.
Right. Anyway, let's move on to teams that did win trophies. Back to us again. A little knock there at Tom. Right. So, okay, I think one of the toughest ones, because we'll probably go somewhat of a 4-4-2, I reckon. But the toughest ones, I'd say, probably is going to be like goalkeeper, because you can only pick one. At least we could, depending on how polite we are to each other, pick two of each in the midfield and defence positions, and then a striker each. But who knows? We're going to have a bit of a debate, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough because obviously, like, I was talking to you off air and that about like formations and stuff, and it's like it was going around in my head. It's like, okay, so I'm trying to think, was there actually like a better right back and left back in that, or do we go with maybe three centre backs and have like the wingers as more wing backs? But
then you do lose the ones that were just playing as traditional right backs and left backs. Okay, let's start off between the sticks.
All good teams.
Already, I feel this is a tough one because
on every poll you look at Premier League goalkeepers, and these two are. Well, probably with the later edition of Petr Cech, these are probably going to be 1 and 2 of people's, all-time Premier League goalkeepers.
They are the three, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean, but for that era, it was these two, and either of them would walk into either team. Both obviously former Man City goalkeepers as well in their later career.
Oh true. Which is slightly more offensive for your guy than my guy. Being a rival. I couldn't imagine Seaman playing for Tottenham, but that's another story. Right, so let's when do we start getting Shot, getting the knives out, mate. Do we start now? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I would probably, as much as Seaman was great in that season, I think Schmeichel had not as good a back four in front of him, not as consistent a back four in front of him.
Yeah,
for the 98-99 season. Plus, he's talking about that season. You've got to talk as well about and sorry to bring this up, the saving of the penalty in the last minute against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi.
Yeah.
The saves he made in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
The fact that he captained us in that Champions League final as well, in the absence of Roy Keane. And just how consistent he was throughout that season. I think, to be honest, and his last season as well.
I'm gonna let you have Schmeichel there. To be fair, I mean, like you say, like it's tough to pick the two, and obviously, you're gonna slightly edge towards your allegiance. But I think I would imagine Schmeichel one more. I mean, we're doing it on that one season, but overall, people would probably say Schmeichel edges it that little bit as far as trophies, obviously. And in these specific seasons we're talking about, like Seaman was great in that season, and like say Schmeichel was equally as good, but probably it meant that little bit more because, like you say, it didn't have the benefit of the famous back four that Arsenal had. I'll give you Schmeichel there. I think we've started off quite amicable.
Very wise decision with that one.
I can't now, mate. All right, we'll go Schmeichel there. Okay, so where do you want to start, left or the right?
See, for me, I always say that a good team has to have a good spine. So I would probably go, and this then I guess will influence what we do either side. I think if we go centre backs and then put the fullbacks after that.
Centre backs first, then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm looking at it is, you've got to go Tony Adams, and then you've got to go Jaap Stam. To be fair, to me, they're the two. But if we were going for three at the back, three centre back, I'd probably shove Steve Bold in just because Tony Adams and Steve Bold were, or Martin Keown.
Yeah. We were lucky. I mean, we had pretty much a five as well with Keown.
No Oleg Luzhny though, no.
Sadly, doesn't make this 11. I'd say, I think you're right. Stam was
Dutch man.
Pretty decent that season. Got himself a goal in the league. I'm looking at the stats here.
Leicester, wasn't it?
And saying that, Tony Adams got quite a emphatic goal himself against Everton last game of the season. Tony Adams,
statue of that outside the Emirates.
It is, with that sums it all up. Bold Adams put through by Bold. Chest it down, boom! What an incredible way to win the league.
They were definitely no Ryan Bergkamp then.
No, but it was good that they could show. You know what? We'll give it a go as well. 4 goals in that game. So anyway, I think you're right. Adams and Stam are probably a decent pairing.
To be fair, I don't think Schmeichel would have too much work to do with them two in front of him.
No, exactly. Yeah, so we could have anyone in goal, really.
And to be fair, like you've got like 3 choices for who could captain a team as well. There, it's like I would hate to be the manager to say.
What do you mean 3 choices, mate? We've got 1 choice, all right?
What, Schmeichel?
The
Champions League at the end.
Come on now. Right.
Yeah. So for me, as I say, that's. The way I would have gone is I would have gone 3 and then 2 wing backs. But also, because you think right back would probably either be Gary Neville, Lee Dixon, or I know he's technically a right-footed left back, but he played right back as well, would be Dennis Irwin. Potentially.
But if we're going technicalities, I think Irving goes straight out of it then, if that's the case, because if we're adapting and stuff like that, I think you've got to.
But then that also plays into the left-hand side. Is do you go then with Irwin on the left, Winterburn, or do you shove, like if we can't decide on a left midfielder, do you shove one of those left midfielders as a makeshift left back? So I know, like for example. I'm sure we're going to get into a Giggs and Overmars debate a bit later on with that side. Giggs has played at left back for United a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think I recall he scored a brilliant goal at Upton Park playing at left back for Man United.
Right.
So that's another possibility.
Yeah, I think if we're trying to be more amicable, we can do that. But at some stage, we've got to go for the juggling, mate, and just be cutthroat with it and say, look, traditional positions
4-4-2. 4-4-2.
where they officially played as well that season. So, all right, where are we going? Left or right first?
Go right.
Yeah.
Right back in the changing room.
Yeah. Okay.
Lee Dixon.
Gary Neville. It's pretty much Lee Dixon or Gary Neville. See, I'll be honest with you, I don't quite remember Neville's performance that well in that season. How much I feel like he had bigger seasons.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, he was overshadowed quite a lot in like David Beckham that season. Because, you know, he'd just come off of France 98. So Beckham obviously...
I mean, I'm gonna say Dixon because I think he had more of an impact on that season. That makes it sound like Neville did nothing in the treble. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah, you did nothing, guys.
But I feel like Neville probably had better. Like we're probably looking at Neville. If you look at Neville as the overall package, you think Neville could edge it in some ways. But I think for what the player meant for that team that season, I think Dicko's got to be in it for me. Come on, give it to me.
Go for it.
All right. Hey.
We'll in there.
All right, so who we got on the left then?
So left back, we would go with. So we had ours was rotated at left back quite a bit throughout that season. Was Dennis Irwin mainly and Phil Neville.
Right.
And I think you guys would have gone with Nigel Winterburn. And would there have been someone, or probably Winterburn would have played most of that
Yeah,
season?
Winterburn played most of it for sure. See, I want to be polite, maybe give you Irwin here, but again...
Dependable Dennis.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you thinking?
It's... See, this is where I get into like the thinking of, do I put a makeshift person there? Because, I mean... You know, although Winterburn was part of the famous Arsenal back four, you're already like messing that up by sticking Yap Stam in there.
Yeah, but still, three of them and Stam ain't bad, is it?
You know,
I think much like, I don't know, again, like as a Man United fan,
it's a coin toss.
Irwin's place in the 99 treble, where do you put him? Is he a big part of that squad?
I mean, I don't think he played in the he didn't play in the Champions League final.
I mean, if Fergie ain't picking him, should we?
Go Nige if you want.
All right. Oh, see, I feel bad, man. I feel bad.
Don't worry. I'll be flexible here because I've got some positions I'm going to
I'm a bit worried now because it's gonna get more serious in a bit for me who I really want in it, and I know you're going to be.
No.
All right, cool. So we've got, at the moment, we've got Schmeichel between the sticks. We've got Dixon, Adams, Stam, and Winterburn, and they're moving into midfield. Are we going central midfielders first?
I think literally the defence wasn't too bad. The midfield is going to be super hard to pick because there's 7 top players there. Trying to narrow 7 down to 4. This
is probably where it's going to get the most tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd probably say let's get the easiest one out of the way first. Right midfield, David Beckham.
Yeah, I think that season was his breakout season, wasn't it? And like, as far as he was literally the star, wasn't he? We've talked about it before on goal hanging, coming out of France 98. And the situation at the World Cup for him. I feel bad as well because they didn't even talk about Ray Parlour, incredible player for Arsenal over the years as well. Much like someone like Dixon was there through many different versions of that Arsenal squad, you know, going all the way up to around, you know, the Invincibles era as well, where some would say he had even more of an impact, you know, like towards that kind of like 2002, getting the FA Cup winning goal. And Parlour was, I feel bad. I didn't even mention him earlier, but he was amazing in 97, 98 as well. And that beautiful those beautiful golden curls flowing in the wind.
Interesting story about Ray Parlour. My
Go
dad
on.
was at his wedding.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, the old
I bet
Romford
that was
Pele.
quite an event.
Yeah, midfield pairing. We've got to choose 2 out of Vieira, Petit, Keane, and Scholes.
Right, Vieira, Petit, Keane, Scholes. Right, I'm trying to think again. Even career-based wouldn't be easy. It'd have to be that season, and that's not easy either. On the Arsenal side, Petit, at a time, new signing, wasn't actually with us for long, but made a huge impact in the 97-98 season. Obviously, having that connection with Patrick Vieira from the French national team as well. And then you guys, who was it again? It was Keane and
So it was Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, and, well, to a degree, could even throw Nicky Butt's name in there as well, because Nicky Butt did play quite a bit of that season as well. So,
okay.
I mean, I would, if ever I'm picking any Premier League team from that kind of era, and I have to pick a central midfielder, Paul Scholes would probably be the first name on my team sheet, just because of how good Scholes is.
But I think Keane was so integral to your side back then.
Exactly.
Well.
See, this is why I was going to go with three midfielders. This is why I was trying to do the formation that way, because I would have had 3 centre backs, Beckham and one other on the wings, and then have Keane, Vieira, and Scholes as the midfield 3. But,
well, so like you, I think if I'm picking a team from this generation, like one of the first names on the sheet is always going to be Patrick Vieira. As much as so, I'm willing to let go of Petit to have Vieira, and then maybe if you want to pick out of Scholes, and if you're saying Scholes is your first, but because another thing is I don't know if Vieira and Keane would complement each other that well because they had similar roles. So you kind of need if Vieira's taking that slot, for example, then maybe
Vieira's more like your defensive midfielder that can sit in front of them, protect the back 4,
and pretty much an enforcer like Keane would have been as well. So if we've already got that in Vieira, then maybe we need Scholes for
pinging it about.
Yeah, pinging it. Although Vieira weren't bad at pings himself.
You know, literally, if Roy Keane ever sees this, mate, I
know. I'd be more scared of Roy Keane, but
yeah, even though like he's like squaring up to Vieira, he comes up to like Vieira's chest, but
I think it's got to be. Again, don't get me wrong.
I can't believe we're literally going to leave out like the best. Well, voted the best captain of the Premier League era, pretty much.
Yeah.
But as we said, we're doing it on that season alone.
We're going on that season alone, yeah.
But then I have to also take into consideration the fact that, you know, when we were in the Champions League semi-final against Juventus, and we were 2-0 down, and Roy Keane just came up with like the captain's performance that night, and it was his goal that pretty much set us on the way to the final. Him and Scholes both getting booked to actually miss the final as well.
Yeah. But then maybe that's where it comes into it. Do we go for a reliable, unreliable kind of
and Keane got injured in the FA Cup final as well. So,
yeah, I mean, we can't.
The 2 big cup.
but yeah, exactly.
It's like the 2 big cup games that we played in, the 2 big cup finals. Keane didn't play in either of them. Scholes played in one, scored in one.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so I think we're going Vieira and Scholes.
Vieira and Scholes is going to have to be.
Cool. So we got Beckham, Vieira, Scholes, and then we got a left-hand side
is
debate.
Well,
right. Okay.
I would say
I'm going Overmars, obviously.
I'm going to go Ryan Giggs just because, like every defender that we've mentioned, he ran past in one game.
But that was one game.
Exactly.
We could do the same. We could pick a player from Arsenal's team saying, look what they did to such and such. I mean,
Overmars doing it against Schmeichel.
It's going to be tough, right? But the reason I go Overmars is, again, body of work, Giggs, longevity, and all that kind of stuff. Overmars was only in our team for a few seasons. But he was there at his peak. He was electric. He literally turned that team around. Those signings of Overmars, Petit, Vieira, spiced, on top of the back four that Wenger had inherited, is, in my opinion, the reason we won. And obviously the Bergkamp and Wright and stuff like that is the reason we won the league. So and the FA Cup. So for me, I know you don't want to give up Giggs, mate, but
I think
Overmars was better. Overmars scored in the FA Cup final, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Overmars completely helped revolutionise that team.
But then you think
that team, that year.
And I think, though, with that same season, I've got to think, if it wasn't for Ryan Giggs, Arsenal would have got to the FA Cup final that season. So the treble would never have happened if it wasn't for Ryan Giggs scoring that goal. You know,
and that's another thing, like what we were talking about earlier. About
it's like you talk about Patrick Vieira. You know, it's a quality assist from Vieira that day. Great pass straight to Ryan Giggs' feet. You know,
that's one of those probably top 5 worst moments as an Arsenal fan. That goal. It's an incredible goal. As a football fan, I think it's great. But as an Arsenal fan, it was.
And I think if we're going for it on that season, I think for me that the treble doesn't happen it's factual. Basically, the treble doesn't happen if he doesn't score that goal.
I get what you mean. I feel like the league might slip for Arsenal if we don't have Overmars by the same token. But I'll give it to you because I think what made that Man United team great and lives on is the fact they won the treble, not the fact, so that one moment, like you say, does take it. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I have no idea who you faced in the final that year. I literally switched off.
It's the same as you guys. You faced Newcastle previously.
Yes, they twice in a row they lost, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we beat them 2-0. I think Keane got injured in the first few minutes, so then Sheringham had to come on, and then so Sheringham.
I hate giving up Overmars, but all right, I'm gonna go Giggs. Even though I think
the thing as well, I think, that's
Overmars' best season as well.
And with Ryan Giggs, I think because Giggs actually played out of position as well in the Champions League final and had a really good game as well. So, for him to be, and I'm trying to think how old he would have been. I mean, he was still relatively young as well
compared
at that time.
To his mid-2000s career. Yeah, he's a bit younger then. Yeah,
when he was like in his 40s and that. But see, it's one of them where it could be a toss of a coin, but I think for moments, obviously, you had Overmars scoring the winning goal at Old Trafford and then mimicking the Cantona celebration.
Yeah.
I remember wearing that exact same shirt that you're wearing right there.
Yeah. Is that what we're looking around, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, if I remember rightly, Schmeichel had gone up for a corner and didn't he pull his hamstring or something running back? Or was that a different year?
Who, Schmeichel?
Yeah, was that a different game or a different year? Or so I remember the shirt he had on. I remember buying that shirt in Great Yarmouth one year.
Yeah?
Yeah, with the swirls on the front, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, the green one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it was black and then it had green patterns on it.
Green pattern, yeah. Oh, mate.
But yeah, so then, going back to that.
I'll give you Giggsy.
Cheers, mate.
All right, because I did get the extra defender, so you can have the extra midfielder. Yeah. All right.
But then, like I said, Giggs could have slotted in at left back, but nah.
Yeah, well, at least he's there to be versatile. Then, all right, we'll give him that. Okay, so either way, someone's coming away with. Even if we go 1-1 here, there's still going to be more Man United players because of Schmeichel. But okay, let's go up front.
For me, Bergkamp's a shoo-in.
Yeah, so the contenders would be Bergkamp, Anelka, Wright, and who have you got? York.
Wait, mate, you're missing that Christopher Ray, man. Come on.
Christopher Ray, okay, yeah.
And then for us, it's the famous foursome, isn't it? Sheringham, Solskjaer, York and Cole.
Which is, as 4 go, amazing. What a great, set of forwards to choose from. Incredible. And obviously 99, Sheringham and Solskjaer being the heroes in that in the final few minutes. You can't take that away. But we're going through the season as a whole, and they were pretty much the sub players. You were mainly using Cole and York at the time, weren't you? So, and same with us. Anelka had just come into the team as well. Incredible bit of business from Arsenal Wenger. Arsenal Wenger actually called him that. Can't believe that happened. The joke is there.
It's better than what we all call him anyway.
So, great bit of business. Would buy him really cheap, sell him on, rebuild Arsenal's training ground, and buy Thierry Henry, who went on to become obviously our greatest goal scorer. So
he weren't a bad player either.
He was all right. Yeah,
Terry Henry was.
Terry Henry. Yeah. So I'm not as great as Anelka was becoming, and as amazing Wright was, who got broke his record that year, beating Cliff Baston's record. Just
when he actually remembered how many he'd scored.
Yeah, because he took the shirt off early, didn't he? So
a goal too early. Yeah.
He actually had a better 96-97 season and a better 93-94 season. Those were his best seasons in an Arsenal shirt, and I absolutely loved him in 97-98. But he was going towards his end of his career. Obviously, would go to have spells at Celtic and West Ham shortly after. This is actually his last season for Arsenal. Hence, at this point, Anelka coming in. Kind of a passing of the torch, which didn't work out that way. Anelka was the middleman, gave it to Henry. But I'm gonna Bergkamp for me at this, being this age, I was about 10 years old at the time. I've probably said it before on goal hanging, but when people would call me, when I'm playing football, I remember vividly playing football on the estate, and people saying I'd be playing, then they'd call me Little Bergkamp, and I'd all of a sudden Hulk up, and I was a really good player, I loved Bergkamp. It is my favourite player of all time, so obviously I'm going to put him in any squad, and his career was incredible. But again, just going on this season, it would be the same. He was fantastic that year.
I thought he was a quality player. I mean, even watching him from a rival team at that time, you'd watch moments with Bergkamp, and your jaw would hit the floor with just some of the stuff he'd come out with. So, for me, pretty much like you're saying, I think he would just walk into any team, and the three that basically four that we got to try and make a decision on in a minute. I think Bergkamp would complement any of those really well, because he does what they call the dirty work as well for a forward. Whereas you'll get some centre forwards that are just literally stay in front of the posts and want to like a Van Nistelrooy would do, where it'd just be pretty much 18-yard box. Whereas Bergkamp would be spraying passes around, and I've heard Ian Wright on numerous interviews say that he made him a better player. And so going along with Bergkamp, it's really tough because obviously you've got Cole the goal.
Cole the goal, and I could be sneaky and let you pick Cole, so that we get sort of an Arsenal player in there, being that he was at Arsenal early in his career. But for me, I'm saying Dwight York.
Yeah, I think York had a better season than Cole, goal scoring wise as well. And if I recall, this was Dwight York's first season at United as well. And he just came in and he hit the ground running, and he was superb.
Where did he come from? Who
Aston Villa.
Was it direct from Villa?
Yeah, Dwight the Villa Delight.
Oh.
that's what they used to say.
Yeah. Well.
I think York and Cole as a partnership was superb.
Yeah, Cole was great. Yeah.
But then likewise, Sheringham and Solskjaer were. For me, it's one of them where
Sheringham and Solskjaer are an incredible, not to be demeaning or anything, but they were used as the B partnership here, because you had one and two, and obviously one would slot in where Cole was off or Dwight was off. But as a B partnership, could you get much better than those two? Sheringham, Solskjaer?
Solskjaer coming off the bench and scoring. See, this is the thing for me. It's Solskjaer is literally how I just described as well. He would be one of those forwards that would be in front of the posts and, coming up with a big goal. But I think his impact is better from the bench.
Yeah.
So by that, and then obviously Andy Cole as well, his goal scoring record, I think, until Wayne Rooney and Sergio Aguero came along, I think he was sitting as the second all-time leading Premier League goal scorer behind Alan Shearer for a long while. So obviously you can't take that away. But if we're going on this season alone, then yeah, I think we've got to go Dwight York and Dennis Bergkamp as the strikers.
Okay, well that is our 11.
That's one heck of a.
Do we bother picking a captain? Because I'm going to say Tony Adams because Arsenal's greatest captain.
For me, it would have if we'd have picked Roy Keane, there would have been a debate. But because Keane's not there, Tony Adams.
All right, Tony Adams. I'm not going to pick
100%.
manager. I don't think we should do that because I think the argument's going to continue forever. I think what Wenger did in his first 4 seasons is incredible, but you can never take away what winning a treble is for Ferguson either. So I think we should just leave that one as it is. We're the co-managers. And
Sir Arsene Ferguson.
Right, so let's not do ourselves bench, obviously, because we're basically just going to have the guys that we haven't, the people that we picked over the others. So we're picked over them. So,
and plus, I wouldn't want to tell Roy Keane that he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, let's stay away from that. Anyway, guys, this has been great. I've enjoyed it at least. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe for more. We've got quite a bit of football content on our website, rednoise.com, and also in Rebellious Noise's YouTube channel, where you are now. Please subscribe. Dan over here is the host of Goal Hanging, which is our debate, sit down for a few pints and have a laugh, and just look back on a bit of football, do a bit of predictions, stuff like that. It's usually good fun when I'm on that show. No, not just because I'm on it. I'm saying I have fun when I'm on your show, Dan. And anything else you want to mention?
Just got to say, that rivalry from United and Arsenal in that 98-99 season, you guys, that was just... Can we not go back to them times?
Wish, mate.
Back when we could actually watch football.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
Back when you guys were at Highbury, eh?
Oh mate, good old days.
The Highbury Library.
Hey, come on now. I think the North Bank would have to disagree with you there. Anyway, some good players, some great players, some great teams there, and great memories. Like I said, if you want more football content, guys, please subscribe, and hopefully we'll do another one of these in the future, Dan.
Indeed, we will.
A few more Arsenal teams and Man United teams that I think people would like to.
To be fair, mate, it's one of those rivalries that will stand the test of time, and we could go to many different eras and do it, and let's do it again.
Brilliant. All right, wicked. Cool. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Peace out. I'll tell you something though, even with this team that we're picking now, we're going to have a heck of a subs bench. We could get 2 teams out of it.